What's up, assassins? Have I got a rumor for you? And this rumor is so big that some gaming magazines like Gaming Bible, they're picking this up. So apparently, the rumor is that Assassin's Creed's next entry is going to China. What does that mean for the series? How soon is this coming out? And is it even going to work? I got all these answers and questions and more inside. I'm Darkshot of the YouTube Assassin. Let's get into this and figure this out.
Time to get out of this cage.
So again, everybody, this is only rumor and speculation right now, but what they're going on and saying is that apparently coming out in 2022, probably not early, probably at the tail end, is going to be the next entry in Assassin's Creed. Now, it's unclear whether or not it's going to be a direct entry or if it's going to be like a little side scroller or a smaller mission thing, kind of like the Chronicles series, or even something a little bit different. Again, it's also going to be in China, which I find weird because Ubisoft has always said that they never wanted to go to Japan because they felt that it would be too cliche, bunch of ninjas and stuff like that. So they wanted to keep it out of there. And they wanted to go with like other history. Now, the beautiful thing about Assassin's Creed as a series is that it can go anywhere in history. It just picks a place and a time period, a strife, a war, anything like that, and it can go to it. They can even do a present-day game if they wanted to, which I've talked about, as well as a prehistoric game or even an Isu game. Because according to the history of Assassin's Creed, obviously the Isu, they were the precursors, the people who came before. Then that's where we got the whole idea of mankind being made from gods. The Isu were actually gods. And then the Isu created man, and then man had all these problems, finding pieces of Eden, so forth and so on. So, going to China, there's plenty of periods that they could go to that would kind of be awesome. But one of the things that I really want is I really want them to kind of, if they're going to do China, they kind of have to make sure they're still in the present day, or not present day, but kind of like present times as far as having the hidden blade. We definitely need the hidden blade. That just makes the game. It makes the game fun. But I would love to see what other weapons that they come out with. And, you know, seeing like a history of China and everything, that would also be kind of awesome. So I'm really not hating on the idea. What worries me is that this is going to be coming out, like I said, supposedly 2022. We're only in 2021. We've only had, Valhalla for a couple of months? And supposedly they were going to do the same thing they did with Odyssey, but a little bit different. They were going to give us a season pass, like a season 1. They were going to give us a season 2, and give us a bunch of like little freebies and stuff like that, events and whatnot in between, which would make it a lot of fun, which would give it a lasting flavor, unlike Odyssey, where after you were done with the very first season, after you were done with the very first series of DLCs and everything, there was really nothing else to do. They gave us things here and there, like the purple winged Pegasus and the other armor, the armor to basically hype up Valhalla. They did that as well. But they never really got into anything else that would have been absolutely amazing. Like a whole second season, extra stuff. A lot of missed opportunities. In fact, I've often said that what they should have done, being that Cassandra was the canon character, that she was the canon eagle bearer, that they should have given us an Alexio side where we see his side of the story from birth to becoming Deimos and how that played out. That would have been absolutely fantastic. That would have made for some great gaming. That would have kept us busy. You could have used the same resources, the same map, you know, just alter a couple of cutscenes and you're good. You make it from his perspective. And that would have actually been amazing. Or even just make it where he's hunting Cassandra. That would have been incredible. But we'll see what happens. Now, I don't have a lot of confidence in what's going on with Ubisoft right now because, of course, Valhalla is still a broken game. It's a complete mess. They still have to fix it. A lot of people are not even able to get through the game. They're not even able to complete the game. They're waiting on a patch, which may or may not come sometime later this month, maybe early February, who knows. But they definitely have to fix it. Now, as far as this China game goes, where did you have time to work on this? You're still working on Valhalla, working out the bugs and the kinks and stuff like that. Where did you have time to work on this? What is it going to be? Is it basically like a small team with, like, they're creating a smaller game? I wasn't upset with the side scroller, with the Chronicles games. I really wasn't. I know a lot of people were. They didn't play it because they felt it wasn't Assassin's Creed. And a lot of like real hardcore Assassin's Creed fans actually played it. They enjoyed it, especially since it deals with Xiao Jun and her interactions with Ezio, who we saw like at the end of Embers. She runs into Ezio in the animated short Embers, and she gets taught by Ezio some assassin techniques. And even in this game, he makes a cameo and he teaches her like a couple of things, and that's how you went along. Now, I don't think that it would have anything to do with her either. I think it would be a brand new character, and we'll see how that plays out. And again, this is all rumor. But if it does involve her, I'd like to see a little more as far as an open world kind of scenario. Some people really feel it's not going to be an open world thing. It's kind of rumored that it's going to be kind of like the original Assassin's Creed games, where it was linear. The world did kind of open up a little bit to where like you completed one zone and then you could go back to it. You could collect things in it, do stuff like that. So a lot of people are thinking that that's what's going to be going on. And again, I can't speak to that, whether that's going on or not. Again, this is a rumor. You might see some of it on YouTube. A couple of YouTubers are actually claiming that they have insider information and everything. Honestly, if I don't hear it from Raptor, I don't believe it. Because that man has inside information. That man has his connections inside. But, you know, these guys, I don't know what to believe. But they're writing articles on it. They're talking about it. This is a full-fledged rumor, and I wanted to just address it. And one of the things that's like really crazy is that every time a new Assassin's Creed game comes out, the first thing everybody says, whether they know it or not, whether, like, I knew that Odyssey was going to take place in Greece. I knew that Valhalla was going to take place with Vikings. And every time we hear a solid rumor like that, people say, no, they're just saying that. And then they'll go and say, it's going to be in Japan. It's going to be in China. Maybe it will be. But I'd love to know your thoughts on this matter, because if I'm being honest, I'm kind of scared. Because I don't think enough time has passed for a full-fledged game. If it is like a kind of one-off thing, or a kind of like its own little miniature kind of adventure, I'm wondering if it's going to be like a side-scroller like this. And if it's a side-scroller like this, we've already done that. So why would you do it again? You know? You did the Russia, Egypt, and China. Why would you do another China, like Chronicles Part 2? Like, you know, if you're going to do something like that, give me 3 other zones. Don't give me China, Egypt, and Russia. You know, you could even give me some of the zones from like the main entries, if you want. Give me, you know, like colonial America. You know, give me Renaissance Italy, stuff like that if you want. If you're really going to do side scrollers, don't make it the same thing that you've already done. But again, I'm nervous. I'm very nervous about that. First of all, Ubisoft should be paying a lot of attention to Valhalla. There's still a lot of things to repair in Valhalla. There's still a lot of things to fix in Valhalla. A lot of people have lost all kinds of, hours of gameplay. I mean, almost at the end, and they have to start from the beginning now because they lost it all. Or even, besides delete, they also have things that are not going on in the game. You go and you play like a certain area, and it's not working. You can't talk to a certain person. You can't get the quest to activate. Things are not moving correctly. It's a complete mess. There are a lot of mess. And I know a lot of you who are out there, you're going to say, oh, but that never happened to me, so I don't believe that there's all these problems. I get that. Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. Okay? It's there. 1 million people are not going to complain about this issue, and you're like the 1% who didn't have the issue, and just because you didn't have it, it doesn't exist. Or you didn't have it as bad, it doesn't exist. It exists, and it's bad. And it needs to be addressed. It needs to be fixed. So what time frame, what area did you have to work on this China game? That bothers me. If you're going to do a game in China, in fact, I hate to say it, but because of the current pandemic, we're probably not going to see another main entry Assassin's Creed game until like 2024, 2025. I do not see this happening anytime soon if it's a main entry game. If it's like a little quest game, like a little like PSP or PS Vita style game, I could see it being made a little quicker. But again, got to figure out how that's done, how that team put that together. Also, is this game gonna really work in the wake of Ghost of Tsushima? Now, Ghost of Tsushima took place in the island of Tsushima in Japan, but it will be very similar. I mean, different cultures, different styles, different everything, but still, people will be comparing it to Ghost of Tsushima. And Ghost of Tsushima, if you haven't played it, I highly recommend you play it. It was an excellent game. It was the greatest Assassin's Creed game not created by an Assassin's Creed studio. It was absolutely amazing. It had your stealth. It had all these weapons. It had assassinations. It had brutal assassinations. It had a really working dynamic behind it, a really working combat system. It was absolutely phenomenal. So if you haven't played it, I strongly urge you, go out there, rent it, buy it, watch gameplay on it. It was amazing. People are going to compare this Assassin's Creed China to Ghost of Tsushima. This game could be, Assassin's Creed China could be the greatest game ever created. It will still be compared, and everybody will say it's in the shadow of Ghost of Tsushima. And I don't want that. I want it to be its own game. I want it to be absolutely amazing if it's going to be like that. Regardless of if it's a main entry or if it's just a little side mission or something like that, I want it to be perfect, and we got to get this right. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think that this rumor is true? Do you think it's possible? Do you think it's just a rumor? Like every time, like I said, everybody always says every new entry, it's going to be Japan, it's going to be China. Even if they know for a fact, even if it was announced that it's going to be something totally different, people will still try to convince you it's going to take place in China or Japan. It's going to take place in Asia. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you would like to see if it is actually factual that it's going to be Assassin's Creed China. What weapons do you want to see? What do you want the plot to see? Do you want it to be the same character that we've seen before? Xiao Jun, this Asian character here? Or do you want it to be a new character? Do you want it to be an open world game? Do you want it to be a little side scroller or something like that? What do you want to see? Do you want to see Legacy Assassins show up? Let me know all that in the comments below. Other than that, I really do hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. It helps this channel out an awful lot. As always, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. And until the next one, take care, be good.
Stay here.